What's up, people of YouTube? I'm Karsatowski and welcome back to the Karsatowski Bowling YouTube channel. So in today's bowling breakdown, we have the 1998 PBA Tucson Open. So let's get on to the video. Alright, here we go. The title match of the 1998 PBA Tucson Open, featuring the number 1 seed Eric Forkel versus Norm Duke. Eric Forkel's got a nice finished position. So this was a year after the partnership with ABC Sports has ended for the PBA, and the tour went through a bunch of changes at this time, and one of the changes, as you can see, are the gold pins, and both bowlers started off with a strike. Yeah, and this particular stepladder was the beginning of having 4 players in a stepladder instead of 5. And what they would do is the bottom 3 seeds would end up bowling a 1-game match, and the winner of that match would end up facing the number 1 seed for the title. And they've really only ever done that since in the 2014 World Series of Bowling, when they would pretty much do that exact same strategy, which, to be honest, I'm not a real big fan of it, but I am glad that they brought it back one other time. But I wouldn't be disappointed if that format never came back again. And both players start off with a double. Eric Forkel's ball is going through the pins a little bit better than Norm Duke's right now. Norm Duke has been going light the first 2 shots, and Eric has had mirrored back-to-back high flush strikes. So Norm Duke is going to have to figure something out here to get his ball to finish in the pocket the right way, because he can leave like a nasty split if his ball doesn't go through the pins the right way throughout the whole match. And Eric's ball is just destroying the pocket. That's 3 for 3 to start off for Eric Forkel. Perfect shots. Oh, that's a great shot from Norm Duke. He made a slight adjustment, and then his ball goes through the pocket. Perfect. Norm Duke, 36 career 300 games, and I think it would be his, probably around his 40th, where he would bowl perfect game on TV. Get up the back of it. Now his ball is starting to finish in the pocket perfect. And that is a ham bone to start off the title match for Norm Duke. So these pros have thrown the first 7 strikes between the both of them over 3.5 frames. Perfect shot. That ball went a little bit high. He'll probably make a slight adjustment the next time he goes up on that lane. That's another good looking shot and a perfect result. So Eric Forkel is also 4 for 4 with the ham bone of his own. I think this is when you start to see the microfiber towels. I think that was a microfiber towel that Eric had. I can't really tell from here. Ooh, okay. Well, that ball didn't hook quite as much as the last few, and almost left a flat 7. That's still a strike. All right, Norm Duke falls off of it. Oh, he gets away with one, buddy. Wow. Yahtzee for both of them. Yeah, he slipped on that lane, and if he didn't throw it as good as he did, that ball would have had no chance. Look at that mix-up. Alright, well, they both have thrown the first 10. This is a great title match. 19-5 in match play for Norm Duke this week. You don't see a whole lot of players having that high of a match play record anymore. Normally, the highest match play records are like 16-8, which is still a great record, but not quite how you want. And that is the first blank that Duke has had in this title match, leaving a nasty ring 10. Couldn't make it a 6-pack. That's still a good shot, though. But Eric Forkel is changing tape in his thumb hole. When I was a one-handed player, I'd have to put 2 different kinds of tape in my thumb hole. I'd have to put a certain kind in the front part so that it wouldn't rub against the more tender part, and I had to put some of the back so that my thumb could slide out of it a little bit easier. I don't miss those days at all, I can tell you that much. That's a great shot and almost leaves a 9-pin. So Eric Forkel gets himself a 6-pack. It looks like he takes a 4-step approach. I'm not real sure. That green ball looks like a house ball. Almost looks like he got it off the rack and polished it the heck out of it. Great shot, perfect. That is 7 for 7. It's a lucky 7 right there. Oh, there we go. Oh, kicked out the 10-pin on that lane. Alright, so Norm Duke's back to striking. So on the left lane, I think that was a good shot. I think he just got unlucky pin carry. Maybe change his speed a little bit to where the ball will have enough time to drive a little bit more. That's probably the only thing he'll need to do. I don't really think that he needs to make a big move with his feet. Yeah, I think he changed the speed on that one. And look at that. Goes to Brooklyn and he carries a 3-pin. Unbelievable. Yeah, he definitely changes speed and or miss left, and look at that. Wow. Let's see how Eric Forkel responds. Eric is still perfect. Not anymore. Okay, now that makes things a little bit interesting. It looks like that he may have gotten around that ball a whole heck of a lot and just missed left, and that ball sat in the oil for too long and never was able to recover. And this is not only not a very easy spare to convert, but he also loses count as he can only max out at 276. Norm Duke can still max out at a 279. Picks that up perfect, though. That's textbook for a left-hander. All right, we're to 9th frame, so a strike is really important here because if Norm were not to strike in the first couple shots of the 10th frame, then Eric can pretty much strike in the 9th and 10th frame to take back the lead. That's a great shot. Carry that 7-pin. So Norm pretty much still needs the next 3 consecutive strikes to be able to shut Eric Forkel out. He'll need a strike in the 9th, the first 2 in the 10th, and 7 to win. Perfect shot. That went high flush. All right. Actually, he'll need 8 to win on the last ball, but now he needs the first strike in the 10th. On the only lane where he has not struck in this title match. Oh, Walker, Texas Ranger. I remember that show. That's where the Chuck Norris fax was born. Perfect shot. Another perfect shot. Okay, the situation is that Norm Duke needs another strike in the 10th frame and 8 pins to shut out Eric Forkel. It's a great looking shot. He might try to get that ball to face up a little bit heavier in the pocket. Oh, there you go. Yet he has not gotten less than 9 in this whole title match, so he's pretty much won this. He just needs to keep the ball on the lane and get at least 8 pins. And to be honest, for the fill ball, I'd pretty much do exactly what he's been doing this whole match. But he still strikes from a Brooklyn. Well. All right. The audience had real high energy in this match, and I've noticed a lot of the matches from '98 were kind of like that. So the audience energy was still there even though they weren't on ABC Sports anymore. Interesting. Oh, carry that 7 pin. Well, it doesn't really matter now. Oh well. Mia, look at the patch on his hip. Yeah, you don't see any of those anymore. Picks it up nicely. Let's see what he gets for his fill ball. Honestly, he could just take his spare ball down there. So Eric Forkel can max out at 256, which is still a very respectable game at the title match. But there's just too much Norm Duke in this match. And there you go. Yeah, disappointing finish for Eric Forkel, but you know what? There's just too much Norm Duke, and you're not going to lose to a whole lot of players when you bowl like Norm Duke is bowled today. All right. Well, a very high-scoring title match for both players, really. Eric Forkel just had that one miss in the 8th frame, which really cost him a chance at the title at the Tucson Open. Well, so if you guys like these videos, then be sure to give it a like. And also, if you don't want to miss any videos like this, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. Anyway, guys, so I'm Karsatowski. Keep watching my content, and I'll see you in that next video. See ya!